This album felt like I quantum leaped into the new generation when the food crisis erupted all over the world. Haiti was one of the places that was hit so hard. But the cool thing is, I got a real Barack Obama story.
You produced some stuff for Michael Jackson, right? How did that go?
Alexis on fire.
Wolf Mother, Finger 11.
Anti-flag.
Lily Allen.
Chaos.
And you're watching the Adlercast.
In 1996, the Fugees put out The Score, which went on to become one of the highest-selling hip-hop records of all time. Unfortunately for Fugees fans, it was so successful that by 1997, every member of the group had an offer to do a solo project, which eventually led to the demise of the group. My name is Brian Adler, and today I'm going to show you what Wyclef Jean had to say about the potential of a Fugees reunion, which, by the way, may be a lot closer to happening than you might think. He also told me that he's been hanging out with President Obama and Michael Jackson separately. We'll find out which one of them owes him money when Wyclef Jean joins us on the Adlercast.
I want the young generation to understand, when I did the carnival 10 years ago, all of this stuff that you're hearing now with the mixed culture and all of that, you know, that fusion, I was doing that 10 years ago. All of that, you hear symphony on music, rappers singing all the hooks now to the records, and they barely rap now, everything is a song. I was doing that in the carnival 10 years ago. But this album, The Carnival 2, it went back to identifying with the young generation. I mean, my daughter's 3 years old, and she's singing Fast Car. You know, like no matter how big 911 was, you know, she wasn't singing 911.
Right.
It's sort of like Sweetest Girl is on every little girl's MySpace that's like 13, 14 years old. So it's sort of like, it makes them feel like this album felt like I quantum leaped into the new generation. And I named it The Carnival 2 so they could go back to the Carnival 1, because I felt like that was the most, you know, that was the most focused solo CD that I did when I was starting, and that's the one I wanted the kids to hear first.
I think of all the guests he had on there, will.i.am was the most interesting to me, just because he's been called like the junior
Father
Wyclef
and son,
yeah.
Father and son.
Kind of cool.
That's
that
the new
happened.
single, Father and Son. You know, there's will.i.am and there's also Akon. You know what I'm saying? Akon was like considered the new Wyclef as far as like the voice, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the next. will.i.am was more like the swagger, the image, the hat, the movement, you know what I'm saying? And Akon, you know, basically came out from the Booger Basement. A lot of people don't know that Akon was on the album The Score, the Fugees remix. So that's like, you know, that's like my little brother. And I don't expect, you know, nothing else, you know what I'm saying? will.i.am is a great producer, someone that I think he reminds me of myself in the sense of he has no barriers when it comes to production. And I don't think, because I'm very eclectic when it comes to producing. Like, I'll produce Tom Jones, then turn around and produce T.I., you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then I'll do a Destiny Child, you know, then do Fugees, then do Shakira, Carlos San. Like there's, and with will.i.am, I see that. Like there's no barriers with his style of production.
You produced some stuff for Michael Jackson, right? How did that go?
I mean, I think unlike anyone who has really worked with Michael Jackson, I'ma always be honest, you know? And I feel that, you know, the old Michael Jackson material, people need to leave it alone because it's such a classic. And if you really want to help Michael Jackson out, get him in the studio and start to do new records for him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the approach on how I approached it, you know what I'm saying? On the project that I started, and then that I really want to continue, you know what I'm saying? But the songs was coming out dope, you know what I'm saying? They're, you know, the vibe of the material I was writing is very challenging, but Michael material always was challenging back in the days.
So what happened with the record then? Did it stop, or the stuff that you were working on, where is it at?
We're trying to retrieve it, you know what I'm saying? See if we get a hold of Mike, get him to go in and cut some more records.
Because I saw one interview where you were saying that he still owed you some money, and you seemed like you were kind of upset with him.
No, I wasn't upset. I just say that to give him shit.
Yeah.
But I love Mike, but I still want my money. What if we took different partners and put them together and try to raise $48 million? It's really a small world, and sometimes because we're in different time zones, we really think that we're totally different than the people in the other time zone.